Hi, I'm Shauna Fish with VA Disability Group. Today we'll be discussing the additional state benefits available to Nebraska veterans who have a 100% rating with the VA, as well as a few other benefits veterans should be aware of. We understand that navigating all the available options can be overwhelming, and we hope this information will help simplify the process and point you in the right direction to take advantage of these benefits. Visit our website where we will have more detailed information regarding eligibility and application processes. We'll have a link in the description box below. Nebraska has 4 state veterans' homes. Eligibility is based on clinical need and setting availability. Each state establishes its own eligibility and admission criteria for its homes. To be admitted, veterans must have served on active duty and have an honorable or general discharge. You must also have lived in Nebraska at least 2 years during your lifetime. Veterans must be disabled by reason of service or age or otherwise unable to earn a living. Spouses, surviving spouses of veterans, and Gold Star spouses and parents are also eligible for membership under similar requirements. Member contribution is determined by a sliding scale depending on a person's income and/or assets. We recommend that you talk with a VA social worker near you about eligibility requirements and to create a payment plan. Nebraska has 3 national cemeteries and 2 state cemeteries. National burial benefits include a gravesite in any of the VA national cemeteries with available space, opening and closing of the grave, perpetual care, a government headstone, marker, or medallion, a burial flag, and a presidential memorial certificate at no cost to the family. Burial benefits are available for spouses and dependents as well. Keep in mind that state cemeteries eligibility is similar to national cemeteries, but may include residency requirements. Nebraska offers several income tax exemptions to its resident veterans. I will briefly touch on these in this video, and more information will be available on our website. Military retired pay is exempt from Nebraska income tax. The Thrift Savings Plan does not withhold taxes for state or local income tax, but is reported annually on IRS Form 1099-R. TSP distributions after retirement are not subject to state taxes. Early distributions may incur higher taxes. Military disability retirement pay received as a pension, annuity, or similar allowances for personal injury or sickness from active service should not be included on taxable income. Some of the payments, which are considered disability benefits, include disability compensation and pension payments for disabilities paid to veterans or their families, grants for homes designed for wheelchair living, grants for motor vehicles for veterans who lost their sight or the use of limbs, or benefits under a dependent care assistance program. DIC benefits are tax-free. SBP, RCSBP, and RSFPP annuities are not taxed in Nebraska. Nebraska follows federal guidelines for state filing extensions and does not tax income received by a service member while serving in a designated combat zone, contingency operation, or in a qualified hazardous duty area. The Nebraska Veterans Aid Fund is a temporary emergency fund that assists veterans, their spouses, and dependents when an unforeseen emergency occurs. To be eligible, you must be a veteran with honorable service and active duty service other than for training. Dependents of a qualified veteran would be eligible as well. You must also demonstrate that you are experiencing a current financial hardship that was caused by a temporary emergency that was no fault of your own, such as a medical episode or catastrophic life event. To apply, you should contact your local CVSO. Applications are generally processed in 7 to 10 days. The Nebraska Homestead Exemption is a property tax relief program available to 6 categories of homeowners. 3 of these categories are specific to veterans. The first is for a veteran receiving compensation from the VA because of 100% service-connected disability. The second category is for wartime veterans that are totally disabled by a non-service-connected illness or accident. The last category is for paraplegic or multiple amputee veterans whose home is substantially contributed to by the VA. The veteran must own and occupy the homestead continuously on or before January 1st and through August 15th. Surviving spouses may also be eligible to receive this exemption. File after February 1st and before June 30th. Keep in mind that some categories of this exemption for veterans have income limits. Also, some categories of this exemption require annual filing, while one is renewed every 5 years. Consult your local assessor's office for detailed requirements regarding these exemptions. Veterans may register to have a veteran's designation displayed on their Nebraska license plate or ID card. The veteran must be enrolled in the Nebraska Veterans Registry through the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Military honor license plates are available in lieu of regular county plates to those who have served or are currently serving on active duty or in the National Guard or Reserves. You must be enrolled in the Nebraska Veterans Registry through the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Also, you must have an honorable discharge or a general under honorable conditions discharge. You can also receive this license plate if you are currently serving on active duty. The Disabled Veteran Motor Vehicle Tax Exemption is available for use on one motor vehicle owned and used for personal transportation by a disabled or blind veteran. For purposes of the motor vehicle tax exemption, disabled is defined as a veteran who has lost the use of or has undergone amputation of 2 or more extremities, or has undergone amputation of 1 or more extremities and has loss of use of 1 or more extremities. Blind is defined as a veteran whose sight is so impaired as to seriously limit his ability to engage in the ordinary vocations and activities of life. The VA must recognize your disability or blindness, and you must have an honorable discharge or general discharge under honorable conditions. Veterans who qualify must apply for the motor vehicle tax exemption to the county treasurer in their county of residence. The Nebraska Veterans Registry allows veterans to voluntarily identify themselves to the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs to verify eligibility for state benefits. Active duty service members and National Guard may register by providing an application and copy of your current military identification card to the NDVA. Veterans may register by providing an application and a copy of your military discharge. Your discharge must include the characterization of service. Honorably discharged veterans may be eligible for a 5% addition to their passing score on employment testing for state positions. Disabled veterans get another 5% on top of that. Spouses of active duty members, those separated within 180 days, and spouses of 100% disabled veterans may also qualify. This preference is for all state, county, and municipal jobs. All notices of positions of employment available for veterans preference and all applications for such positions will state that the position is subject to veterans preference. The position post and application will indicate the veterans preference is available. Veterans that apply and are not hired will be notified by phone, mail, or email that they have not been hired and will be advised of any administrative appeal available to them. Private sector employers with a veterans preference policy can be listed on the Nebraska Department of Labor's Voluntary Veterans Preference Registry. Employers listed on the registry may implement veterans preference policies without having to be concerned that hiring decisions may violate a state or local equal employment opportunity law. Veterans and eligible spouses receive access to the full range of public employment and training services at Department of Labor workforce programs. Veterans will be granted front-of-the-line privileges and be served first by the next available staff member. Additionally, you will receive access to programs or services either earlier in time or instead of those who are not eligible for priority service, so long as you are eligible and qualified. These services include job search assistance, workshops, resume assistance, labor market information, career counseling, job referrals, and referrals to other supportive and training resources. Veterans, active duty members, and their families may be eligible to receive occupational licenses based on their military experience. You may also be eligible for expedited and temporary license approvals. Contact the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Resources Licensing Department to see what your options are for your specific license. Nebraska offers a wide variety of educational benefits to resident veterans and their dependents. It is important to note that state educational benefits can often be used in conjunction with the national educational benefits, such as the DEA program. If you're interested in learning more about the DEA program, check out our national benefits video. A waiver of tuition is available for dependents of eligible veterans at participating colleges in Nebraska. This includes the University of Nebraska, the Nebraska State College System, and the Nebraska Community College System. Participating schools will waive 100% tuition charges and tuition-related fees. Recipients can use the program for one degree, diploma, or certificate from a community college and one baccalaureate degree from a state college or university. Applicants must meet Nebraska residency requirements. This benefit is available to a spouse or a surviving spouse. A biological child, adopted child, or stepchild can also use the waiver. To qualify, the veteran must meet certain criteria. The veteran can be rated permanently and totally disabled due to military service. If deceased, the veteran must have died because of a service-connected condition or died after leaving the military due to injury or illness sustained while serving. Lastly, dependents of service members classified as MIA or POWs during armed hostilities while serving would qualify. Dependent children are eligible until the age of 26, but this may be extended with qualifying military service of their own. The application should be submitted to the Nebraska VA. You will also need to work with your school to complete Part 6 student credentials on the application. The waiver of tuition does not cover non-tuition related fees such as housing or food costs or parking fees. The student is also responsible for purchasing any necessary books and materials needed for their courses. Nebraska residents who are members of a unit of the active selected reserve based in the state may be eligible for a 75% tuition credit. A 50% tuition credit is awarded if pursuing a graduate or professional degree. Tuition credit can be granted to 200 applicants each calendar year who are attending University of Nebraska campuses, Nebraska state colleges, or community colleges. To be eligible, you must be a current Nebraska resident and a member of the Nebraska-based Active Selected Reserve Unit. You must have agreed to serve a minimum of 3 years in the reserves and are pursuing a course of study leading to a diploma, certificate, or degree. There is no lifetime limit on tuition credit for any qualifying member. In-state tuition requirements must be met. If not, an applicant may experience a delay until those requirements are met. Nebraska resident veterans age 64 and older are eligible for a veteran's annual small game hunting, fishing, and fur harvest permit for $5. This permit includes all state stamps, a copy of DD-214, or a veteran indicator on the applicant's Nebraska driver license must be presented in person at the time of application. If a copy of a DD-214 is not available, an application form and signature from a veteran service officer is required. The veteran permit must be renewed annually for $5. It may be renewed at any game and parks office. online or at a vendor location. Renewal does not require a copy of a DD 214 or an application form. A Nebraska resident who has been deployed out of the state within the last 12 months will be eligible to receive an annual small game hunt, fish, fur harvest permit on a one-time basis for $5 upon returning to the state. This permit includes all state stamps. A copy of deployment paperwork must be presented in person at the time of application. Disabled veterans who are legal residents of Nebraska and who have been deemed 50% or more service-related are eligible for one perpetual disabled veteran's lifetime annual park entry permit at no fee. A veteran that is 100% disabled, non-service connected, and receives a pension from the Veterans Administration will be eligible for this permit. An application form and signature from a VSO is required. The application can be presented in person when applying for the permit. Nebraska Game and Park Service Centers can print out applications for individuals interested in the lifetime annual park entry permit. Otherwise, the application may be accessed on the Nebraska Game and Parks website. Thank you for joining me to discuss the ancillary benefits for disabled Nebraska veterans. Check the description box below for a link to the Nebraska State Benefits page on our website. While you're there, take a look around and see the other resources we have available. Leave a comment on this video if you have any questions or if this was helpful, and let us know what other content you'd like to see from us. Thanks again. Have a great day.